Anthony Joshua gave him the knockout. It was just one punch to his jaw. The guy had to go for surgery for that jaw because when I saw the clips, I was like, okay, why would I do this? But again, just like we were talking in the first things, people are now doing things for trends, not like that. So it's entertainment that boils down to.
Yeah, welcome back to the second segment of Just Africa on Sook News Television. Please do to follow us on all our social media platforms at Sook News TV and subscribe to the Just Africa show on our YouTube channel at Just Africa. So, in the second segment, combat sports such as boxing and the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC, are widely celebrated as entertainment. But they also perpetrate micro-violence, intentional physical harm at the individual level. In a world already saturated with conflict, we ask a difficult question. When violence becomes entertainment, what does it teach us about power, dominance, and humanity? So in the second segment, we will be talking about abolishing violence, abolishing boxing, and UFC, combating macro-violence for global peace. Amolo, growing up, our family sports, my dad, my mom, my siblings, our family sport was wrestling.
Yeah.
Not the wrestling during the normal wrestling. The wrestling where Undertaker, Batista, Rey Mysterio, and the likes.
That's entertainment wrestling.
Now, we're talking about boxing. Wrestling, when you look behind the scene, it's still, there are rules.
Yeah.
But when it comes to boxing, it is the head.
There are rules.
There are rules, I know. But now we're talking about boxing, UFC, and the likes.
Yeah.
You have to hit in wrestling. The rule is you don't touch using this part of your fist. But it is not the same when it comes to boxing. The effect, looking at the likes of the great Muhammad Ali, how he ended and all that. But people don't see the future effect of the boxing on your head.
Okay, so the argument, right, is here and here. All right.
Yeah.
Right. When it comes to contact or combat sport, it's like one of the oldest form of entertainment that we ever had. In fact, if you want to know how gory it was, perhaps go watch movies like Spartacus and Hercules and co. Then the Roman Empire, those were the kind of things they used to entertain. And if they don't see blood, it is not if they don't see blood, it is not considered to be real. Right? In fact, the easiest form of submission is either if the opponent submits and says, okay, you win, or you kill the person.
Yeah.
Like a life has to go. And that's like the ultimate. What we do now is, I don't know if there's anywhere those kind of maybe crude systems still exist, but that back in the days, it used to be a norm. However, what we have now is some form of violence, but it's entertainment. To some people, right? I was never a fan of boxing. Because boxing used to be very weird for me. I think I knew early enough that the wrestling that we used to watch, or that's common now, is entertainment, so it's like a scripted acting. I got actors. I knew early enough. Yes, I knew early enough. But our own African wrestling, the ones that we used to do was the main one. We know they do. No, we don't act it. If you go, they still do it. There's this particular boxing we used to have. I don't know if it's called kente or something. There's a name. We wrap one arm, your dominant arm. We'll wrap it with something, and then that's the only one you use to box. That's our own traditional boxing. I can't just remember the name now. But the thing is, these things have been there. It's a form of entertainment. It's a sport. But when you now mentioned, the long-term effect of some of the things that you do, which includes death sometimes as a result of some of these things, perhaps that is why this group brought up the idea and said, okay, let us abolish this sport. How far they would go, I don't know. Yeah. Perhaps when they bring compelling arguments forward, right, it would. But the one of having people maybe die in the ring as a result of some of these activities in sport, they have been there from time immemorial, and they never let the sport die.
I think that letting people die or until one person dies, I think that has been removed, because the rules these days, most time, even the ref, when they say that this person can no longer go, of course they tell you, no, it's over. They just end the game at some point. And another thing I noticed about the rules these days, of course they don't have medical teams, right there, so they they keep coming to your front to let you to
check if your brain has not really
understand if you can still see, if your brain can still
carry on with
throughout the game. So all these things, they've been factored in to reduce, to a large extent, to reduce the damages, especially while in the ring. But the ones you are saying Anthony Joshua do now, and
as I was going to reference it. So Anthony Joshua did something with
kickboxing and all that, and we call them entertainment. Sometimes, yes, entertainment, but it shouldn't be something that is disastrous to health. Now, you were asking something. You were saying something about how far the group will be able to go. Now, the thing is, there is no amount of evidence that, or anything that one can actually say now that will make you to just say this sport has completely been banned. It will be difficult. What I would encourage them to do, of course, I guess is going to let us know how far they've gone, is that, okay, maybe they should review it again. The sport should be reviewed again. No, see, you have to. Maybe they should start.
Because it's no longer the sports again. If you begin to tweak it,
you have to tweak it. They have to tweak it whatever way, for the safety, for the good health of those people. And funnily enough, boxing, I think, is the sport, the richest sport. I read some time ago, because of the amount of money that is involved. You wanted to say something about it.
I told you, Joshua had this most recent fight, I think 2 nights ago, with Jake Paul. Jake Paul is not a professional boxer. The guy is an influencer, social media influencer. He got his fame, and then you say you want to try out boxing, and then you try to challenge an Anthony Joshua. First off, when I saw the skill size of the two of them, I was like, this guy, did you plan? Unless he was just used to get the views. When Anthony Joshua gave him the knockout, it was just one punch to his jaw. The guy had to go for surgery for that jaw. Because when I saw the clips, I was like, okay, why would I do this? But again, just like we were talking in the first things, people are now doing things for trends, not like so it's entertainment that boils down to, right? That's why you see people still bet. I think it was Drake that still lost money because Anthony Joshua won that fight. I think he bet on Jake Paul to win. People, I said it's entertainment. It's not anything of sports anymore. It's entertainment, and people are, I don't know, the thrill of it is now what is movable. Also, to abolish the sport completely, I don't know if.
Let's clarify something. I'm not saying that the sport should be abolished completely. I am saying that the rules, the rules should be reviewed.
Okay, so if the argument has been that combat sport has a ripple effect in terms of the health of the participants, right? And you say they should not abolish the sport. I don't understand. What would be the argument against it?
No, why I'm saying that it's a sport. It's something people have grown to love. You understand?
But people are dying.
Hold on. It's something people have grown to love. So it's a form of entertainment.
Yeah.
It's a form of livelihood for people. There are people who keep betting and all that, and they are cashing out there. There are people, even those the boxers themselves, it's their own way, it's their own means of income. So just abolishing the sport, it won't go well. It will go down well. So there are ways. So for people, the boxers and the people or the audience, the viewers, those who enjoy
the fans,
yes. Let's do something that favors every party. There could be law that while you are boxing, there is a way that you really don't need to hit the head and all that. See, those are the effect is what I'm concerned about, really.
Okay, so I'm going to come like this, right? Look, the sport itself is again beyond entertainment, is business, right? I agree. Completely abolishing it will probably raise other concerns that, because look, perhaps that person who is into sport now, using some of these combat sports as a means of livelihood, if you don't do that, perhaps
Yeah.
also resort to crime. I'm just saying, the evidence could probably be there. Now, what we know is there are different levels to combat sports, right? There's the amateur level, and of course, featherweight and all those kind of weight classes and stuff. There are parts where you have guards around your head. I think most of the time, even the ones they do in the Olympics, they wear these pads around their head.
Yes, that's during Olympics,
so-
but
so-
outside of the Olympics
So
games.
no. So hang on now. This is where I'm going. Like, someone rightly said, many of them train for these things, right? And the odds of death or aftermath effect coming out is not so much to become worrisome. That's why the sports are still there, right? Somebody to give an example. Okay, Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, Jordan, you want to remember him with, he having Parkinson, right? And before he died. But as you bring that as an example, I can give you many other examples where everybody's still okay. The likes of Mike Tyson is still there doing his thing. And he was one of the toughest heavyweight champions that you ever knew. There's also Floyd Mayweather, who made so much money from boxing right now, is diversifying into different things, even real estate. You could mention Tyson Fury. You can even mention the most recent one from Nigeria, Anthony Joshua. Many of them have built their bodies to the point where they can withstand some of these things. So it's part of the sport. Okay. There's the one of the UFC, the same thing. There are some of them that they have this, when they hit them in certain places, you get this kind of concussion.
Like-
It happens, right? But then again, how frequent is it to the point where you say you abolish the sport? I'll give you an example. Now nobody has called for the abolishment of football. But do you know football also has its own tough these things that have effects?
Those are considered as accidents, not deliberate. But
But
when it comes to combat sports,
Yeah.
it is deliberate. You're
Football is a-
targeting.
No,
they
football
are
is a
actually
contact
targeting.
sport.
No,
I just
yes, it's a
want
contact
to,
sport.
I just want to imagine the furore that will come up when somebody comes and says, "Oh, because of the injuries that these players get, let us ban football."
No,
Just
no,
imagine.
no.
You know why it's looking like we're taking it out on boxing and UFC because it's not so popular as football.
No, boxing is more popular. No, I'm
saying in terms in Africa, for example.
Okay.
You want to compare football to boxing.
okay.
In terms of
I understand
popularity,
that.
or UFC.
I understand that.
Now, that's what I'm saying. So, is somebody calling for the abolition of a sport in comparison to football and then boxing in Africa? Just imagine somebody just coming and saying, okay, let them ban football from Africa.
Yes.
Because of the... AFCON is going to start... I think Nigeria... It started yesterday. Nigeria is going to play tomorrow. Our job will just come and SCAF just come and say, you know what? Because of the injuries that these players are getting, let us ban football.
I don't want to compare football and sports.
No, I'm not saying
because they are both a different.
Boxing
they are both
UFC is a
different.
contact sport. Wrestling is a contact sport. Football is also a contact sport.
But
basketball is a contact
the
sport.
rules guiding some of the sports, like football, the rules guiding them, you can't compare them.
Do you know- do you know-
football, there is
Yeah.
no, in the rules, you cannot deliberately kick another player on the head
but it happens.
and all that
But it happens.
by accident.
No, it deliberates this.
And when it happens, what happens
the
to the
best they
player?
give you is a red card.
Red
And then
card.
you walk away, but
And you
the usual
go.
person is still there.
But this boxing, you kick someone's head or UFC or kickboxing and
And when the person goes out,
they
the
tell
person
you-
taps out, you've won.
And they
It
tell
is
you
the
no.
rules in the sport. Do you know the interesting part of it is in football now, any head injury, any head, no matter how light it is, the referee will have to stop
the game. Exactly.
But after they treated that person, the game continues.
Yes.
Have you ever seen anyone that
And
stops?
they even check the person.
They'll check the person, yes,
But
but do you think the game
in
stops?
boxing, do they do that? No.
Yes, now
When-
but you just mentioned now that there are medical teams now available. They were
Yeah.
not there before.
no,
right?
that was in the day.
That's what I say, but now they are there. They can always check you. The thing is, one of the points is, if you want a sport to be abolished simply because of the accident rates in it, you might as well just say every contact sport. That's it to
Did
affect
you call that
football.
accident?
Yes, now.
I don't see
Okay,
that as accident.
okay. At this point, yeah, I know the argument is neither here nor there.
Yes.
Right?
No,
would
hold on,
stand-
Amolo. Let me ask you. Are you saying that the sport shouldn't be abolished and it shouldn't be reviewed?
Reviewed, okay. Abolished, that is like using a sledgehammer to kill an ant. That is not. You can create measures to reduce the impact of this accident.
That is what I'm saying.
And I told you, and I said that's why, for example, in boxing, even in the UFC that we're talking about, there are hierarchies to it. There are places where they know your head or whatever part of your body that you're using for the sport is still tender. They pad these places. Right? Is it okay? Look at I don't know why it is targeted at boxing and UFC. There's judo. There's judo.
No, I think you are looking at the sport from the Olympics.
No,
view.
I'm saying
If it is the one that we have the people we've mentioned, the likes of Anthony Joshua and the likes, where you don't have to wear a protection over your
yes.
head.
How many times have you heard in recent time? In recent time that because of the sport, a large number of people have died.
Large number of boxers.
Boxers or UFC fighters. It's a one-off that you get to that point. Because in football as well, like I said, one of the most liked sports in the world, these incidents still happen. You know, players that maybe because of one tackle, they fall down, and before you know it, before the person gets to the hospital, the person dies.
Okay.
That was happened to Ericsson.
Yes.
This thing.
Of Mario then. Okay,
yeah, when he passed out in the field, and we're able to resuscitate him. I'm saying we now, like I was the doctor.
Okay. So now looking at it, I understand that yes, there are positive effects.
Yes.
Or on boxers or UFC fighters, and there are negative effects. Looking at the positive side of it, of course, one would say no, it shouldn't be abolished. You understand?
Review probably be the best words used.
Yes, review is what I am calling for.
But an abolition
looking at it, how for you to be a boxer or for you to be a
UFC
fighter, you must be disciplined.
Training, many years of training. Yes.
So many training. You must be healthy. So stay fit is non-negotiable when
and they generally medically check them before they go fight. So
the consistent training keeps their body fit. I understand that yes, there are positive effects. I don't just want to be on the negative side. No. And of course, like I said, it's the richest sport in the world.
You know how many people boxing are taken out of the streets?
That's money. You understand? People can put in millions of dollars.
Yeah, advertising rights, entertainment part of it, business deals.
There's a whole lot. Africans are there right now, also fighting. Africans are there. So everyone is, Anthony Joshua is from Nigeria,
It's inspiring a lot of young people to do the same thing.
It's a whole lot of people. So I am not saying that it does not have a positive effect. As much as it has positive effect, it also has negative effect. I am saying the rules guiding the sport, the play or the rules, whatever they are, they should be reviewed.
Do you know in boxing, for example, there's a violation, you don't punch below the belt.
Exactly.
Like these things are there. So when you say completely abolish it, we can review some of the things.
Let's review. I like it. So that's a very good example. One of the rules that
you don't punch below the belt.
You don't go below the belt. Now you can still give certain rules. Especially in kickboxing. When I see them throwing the legs, I'll be like, what are you doing?
Okay, in part of the review, say, okay, don't punch the head. What is that?
What I'm saying. And funnily enough, my gender is there as well.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you still say, oh, you want gender equity. You want it to balance out. Oh, let's give women equal chance to do the sport.
But when I see the injury, I sincerely feel, and you see a lady will tell you, I don't know if you watched I watched one of the boxing game, and the before and the after was put side by side. Really, like she was really beautiful. Like after
I don't know what they call it. Is it the melanoma or something? What swollen head
and you come out at the end of the game, you said the game was actually, I enjoyed it. You enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, look, it's called micro-violence, right? And
exactly.
We are trying to remove all forms of violence. Right? Yes. But then again, this one is allowed based on the rules. Because it's even from street boxing. It's not the same thing. Right? So I agree to a certain extent. It's okay, rather than call the abolishment, just do a bit of review. But then again, what you are reviewing is don't change the sport itself.
You see someone's eyes pop out and you are telling me, oh, come on. I'm just being human anyways. But I know that there are people out there that really enjoy the sport.
Yeah.
The likes of Amolo, they enjoy.
In Africa, we have, look, like I said, Africa, for example, you can go to National Stadium here in Lagos, go to most of the sporting facilities. You see young people engaging in all these sports, including boxing or even UFC,
Yes.
because they are role models and they see it as a way to, for example, fight poverty, which is one of the strongest things in Africa.
Exactly.
So you cannot now deprive a
Someone
child's
from
dream,
earning, yeah.
right? Because you want to, I don't know, like I said, look, what argument do you put forward to say, okay, if it's simply because, oh, it has led to so many damage, violence and everything, I can give you alternatives. Essentially, every contact sport will now have to be removed. Basketball will have to go away. Football will have to go away.
No. Those ones don't have micro-violence. They don't.
Every contact sport
They don't.
requires some form of violence.
No. Those are accidents. I'll
Okay.
consider whatever that happens.
You're arguing that for accidents.
Yes,
and
when
not
it comes
deliberate.
to contact sport like the football and basketball, whatever happens there, I consider it as accidents. But you see, when you want to talk about microviolence, go to boxing, UFC, and the likes.
Okay.
All right, a very big thank you to you, our viewers, for joining us on today's episode of Just Africa. And a very big thank you to our guest once again. A very big thank you to Emmanuel for joining me on the show. We'll come your way tomorrow, but please do well to follow us on all our social media platforms at Sook News TV and subscribe to the Just Africa show on our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Omivi Idolo. Bye for now.